Truck, I was about to get
Got it?
better. Yeah. And right when I started walking.
Alright, put your phones up, please. All right, so something else we can write down as an answer. Since we're going to be doing right triangles, angle C is going to be a right angle on every problem. How much is angle C going to be every time? 90 degrees. Go ahead and write your 90 degrees right there on every problem. Nope. So really, you're going to have to just find 3 answers, Matthew, on every problem, not 6, because it's really giving you the other 3.
I'm not.
No, I'm
Jada, I don't even listen. Jada, I'm going to listen to you, Matthew. Jada, I don't prepare them.
Why are you throwing Jada to the bus about that? Hey, she can complain. She said this was a 13th.
School is my 13th.
And now you changed it. You said it was.
Wait, where did the 12 minutes
The paper. 39 degrees, 12 minutes. All right, so Matthew, we can actually find this angle before we do anything else, because I know if I add up the 3 angles in a triangle, it's got to equal how much? So what I want y'all to do on your calculator, this is all done on the calculator. Take 180 minus 90 minus 39 degrees in 12 minutes. You will have to type in your degree symbol and your minute symbol on that. Type it in your calculator. Let's see what we get. Anybody have a question? Always subtract from 180, you'll find your other angle. 180 minus 90 minus 39 degrees, 12 minutes. All right, it gave me 50.8. Do I need to show anybody where the degree and the minute symbols are again? We just went over.
What is that, B?
No, that's not B. Don't write that in yet. Everybody good on 50.8? All right, now look. If angle A is written in degrees and minutes, then we're going to have to write that in degrees and minutes too. Yep, so hit your DMS button. Boom, boom, boom. What do y'all got?
50, 48.
50 degrees, 48 minutes.
So do we have to do the 90 too?
50 degrees, 48 minutes. No. All right. Anybody have a question how we did that so far? Everything was done on the calculator. You don't have to write down any steps so far. All right, now we got to find these 2 sides. All right, so Matthew, side B is 2.1. Where does that go on my triangle? If it's side B, it goes across from angle B. So across from angle B, I want y'all to write 2.1 right there.
Well, we can't.
Gotcha, I can fix that. All right, we're good so far. All right, so here's the deal. We're going to start every one of these problems from angle A. Remember I showed y'all yesterday you can start from angle A or angle B. It doesn't matter. But for our purpose, everybody's going to do it the same way. We're going to start from A every time. Okay? This is the only number written up there. Y'all agree? Is that on the adjacent side, the opposite side, or the hypotenuse? That's on the adjacent, because that's the opposite side and that's the hypotenuse, so that's on the adjacent side. All right, so next, pick a formula up here that's got the word adjacent in it for me. Cosine, we'll do cosine. All right, so we got to write down cosine of 39 degrees, 12 minutes equals, wait a minute, why did I write down 39 degrees, 12 minutes? All right, this is why, because didn't I just say we're going to start from angle A every time? So you're going to have to write down the measurement for angle A every time. All right, what goes on top in the cosine formula?
Adjacent.
All right, your adjacent side is 2.1. What goes on bottom in the cosine formula? Your hypotenuse. What's on the hypotenuse side? Nothing, so we'll just keep little c. That is the only step you're going to have to show me doing this problem. All right, anybody have a question how I set it up? We're going to do a lot of this. I don't think y'all did this last year, so you're going to need a couple days. Matthew. All right, I look at this formula. Now, remember, since 2.1 is on the adjacent side, Matthew. I could have chose this formula, or I could have chose this formula, and I would get approximately the same answer.
So it wouldn't matter?
Doesn't matter. Somebody said use this one, so that's why I use cosine. So if you're going to use this one, you got to put the adjacent side on top. That's why 2.1's got to go on top. And it says you got to put the hypotenuse on the bottom. We don't have a number on the hypotenuse side, so I just put little c. Okay? Now, to put this in your calculator, anytime anytime you have the variable, the letter on the bottom, basically, Matthew, all you're going to do is trade places with these two. You're going to type in 2.1 on top. On the bottom, you're going to type in cosine of 39 degrees, 12 minutes. Because really, look, this is just a cross multiply problem, guys. You would have to cross multiply, but the shortcut is, if the c is on the bottom, just trade places with it. And put it in your calculator. All right, let's type it in and see what we get. 2.1 on top. The bottom is cosine, 39 degrees, 12 minutes. 2.7. All right, so the next question is, where does 2.7 go? How do y'all know it goes for C? Because we had C in the problem. Good. 2.7 goes for C. Maybe I didn't hear it. Thank goodness.
She said where, or you said where's it go? She said, you said C, she said no.
All right, so again, guys, this is the only work you have to show me. Everything else we're going to do on the calculator. Now, to find the last step, we can just do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You can do it all in the calculator. If they have numbers for a and b, then you add them, right? What if I have a number for c and b? So we'll do 2.7 squared, Matthew, minus 2.1 squared. See what it gives you. 2.7 squared minus 2.1 squared is, now find the square root of that. Square root 2.88 is 1.7. All right, that's how you find all the angles and all the sides. Now, let me show you a trick, Jada. Which one's the biggest angle? 90. So it should have the longest side. Is that true? Yes. Which one's the shortest or the smallest angle?
39.
So that should have the smallest side. It should match up. If it doesn't match up, you messed up somewhere. All right, so that's how we do these. And they'll get a little bit different. We'll do 3 or 4 today and we'll quit. All right, let's do number 2. All right, go ahead and set up your 3 angles and your 3 sides. Go ahead and write down what they give you. They're giving you side A is 9. What else are they giving us? Angle B is 49 degrees. What else do we know? That angle C is 90 degrees. All right, so Brianna, you were out. Somebody else was out. Hannah was out. All of these angle C's are right angles, so they're going to be 90 degrees on every problem. So you can go ahead and write that in. So they're giving us 3 answers. We got to find the other 3. All right, so for the ones who are out of the classroom, Jada, how do we find angle A right here?
You subtract, or you add those two and then subtract it from one angle.
Yeah. Since all triangles have 180 degrees, Brianna, the easiest way is just do 180 minus 90 minus 49. Would y'all get it?
I got
Nope.
41.
Only if it has degrees in minutes do you have to do that.
You got 41?
Y'all got 41 degrees? All right, so that one's 41. That one's easy. All right, next thing we're going to do, we're going to label our triangle. Look, I already got this one labeled. It says right here that 9 goes on little a. Well, little a is across from angle A. So your 9 has to go on that side. I've also said that we're going to start from A every time. We're never going to start from B. So if we start from A, 9 is on which side? Adjacent, hypotenuse, or opposite? Opposite. All right, so now all you got to do is pick a formula that's got the word opposite in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick this one because I want y'all to do this one a different way, okay? So let's pick It doesn't matter, it's gonna be the same. So y'all said sine, let's do sine. I'll pick the next one so it'll be different. Alright, so we do sine of 41 degrees equals, why did I write the 41 down?
Cause that's the angle.
That's angle A, and we're gonna use angle A on every problem. So you're gonna write angle A down every time. Alright, what does the formula tell me goes on top in sine? So I'll put 9 on top. What goes on the bottom?
C.
Little c, because I don't have a number over there, so I just put little c. Alright, so Brianna, when it's set up this way, and you've got your letter on the bottom, all you do to type it in your calculator is put sine of 41 on the bottom and put your c over here. So type in 9 on top, sine of 41 on the bottom, and that's it. What'd y'all get? Where does it go? Which blank does it go in? It goes in little c. Good, y'all getting it? That's right. So now we do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And how do you know if you add or subtract them? Well, if it gives you a and b, you add them. If it gives you c and any other side, you subtract them. So how do you type it in? Nope, you got to start with a bigger number, always. 13.7 squared minus 9 squared. And then find the square root of 106.69. What y'all got? 10.3. Alright, so that's not bad. This is the only work you have to show on every problem. I'm going to look for that step on every problem. Alright, it's going to be a little bit different. Maybe the next one. Yeah, let's do the next one. I hope it's a little different. And then I'll show y'all a completely different type problem. Any question on number 2? Alright, let's go to number 3. You guys go ahead and fill in your first 3 answers, and then we'll start finding the missing answers. Yeah. Alright, so we know angle C is going to be 90 degrees. They're showing us angle B is 64 degrees, and they're showing us little b is 19.2. Alright, so first step, find angle A. I'm going to let y'all find it for me. Just give it to me. I don't have a calculator. 26 degrees. Alright, again, you just subtract those from 180 on your calculator. Just type it in. You don't have to write anything down but the answer. Alright, now this is where you need to label where does 19.2 go. It goes across. It goes across from angle B. Alright, so if we're going to look from angle A, that's the only number that's up there. Which side is it on? Opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse? So pick me a formula. I'm going to pick this one because I'm going to do it different. Alright, if we pick on adjacent, let's do tangent. Tangent of 26 degrees equals. Now you guys set up a fraction on the right side of the equal sign. I'll show you how this one's a little bit different. What goes on top and what goes on bottom? Because the formula for tangent says opposite goes on top. Alright, what's opposite? Little a. Formula says adjacent goes on bottom. Adjacent's 19.2. Alright, so that's all that you have to write down, but how is that different from what we've been doing? Let's look. Every other problem we've had, the variable's been on the bottom, and when that happens, y'all know just to trade places, right? What do you do when the variable's on top? Let's think about it. You want to solve for A. We're trying to get the A by itself. How can I move over this 19.2? Right now, they're dividing by 19.2. So you just times the other side by 19.2, and you got it. So tangent of 26 times 19.2 is. All right, what you got? What is it? 9.3? All right, so 9.3. Where does that go?
Well, you wouldn't round that up.
9.36 or 9.4. All right, so that goes in A. How do we know? Because A is the letter we had in our problem. So 9.4 goes here. So now you guys can do A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Tell me what the last one is. make me cuss one day, I'm gonna get fired. This thing keeps.
I got the square root of 457.
Alright, if it gives you that, make it a decimal.
How do you do that?
Hit the arrow button right here at the bottom, and that will change the square root into a decimal. So what y'all say it was?
21.4.
Everybody says 21.4. If I need to do it, I will, but if y'all agree, I'm gonna skip it.
No, we agree.
Alright, I'm gonna show you one more problem, then we'll stop. We'll close up early.
Thank goodness.
And we'll finish the rest of the stuff Monday. We're gonna have to work on this several days next week anyway.
Yeah, I'm ready to go home.
You trying? What you do when you get home, huh?
I don't know. Enjoy being at home.
That means just laying in the bed.
No, I won't lay in bed. I'm probably gonna go. I got a pressure wash. I'm gonna get home and pressure wash the bed.
Your house or somebody else's house?
My house. I gotta do
I'm
that.
gonna have to hire somebody to pressure wash mine. It's so high I can't reach it even with a 15-foot ladder. I can't get up there. Don't ever build a 2-story house. Stupid.
What number are we doing?
All right, let's do number 8. Last one, number 8. Capital A, capital B, capital C, little a, little b, little c. All right, so number 8, let's write in the answers that they're giving us. They are giving us little a is 2, little b is 7. What else do we know? Angle C is 90 degrees. All right, so how is this one different from the other ones that we've done?
It's only giving you the small.
Yeah, we can't do the angles first, can we? Because they're not giving us enough so we can subtract from 180. We're going to have to do this side first. All right, how would I find side C? A squared plus B squared equals C squared. All right, let's do that. 2 squared plus 7 squared is... Somebody make that a decimal for me. 7.3. All right, is it okay with 7.3 going on side C? Is that all right? It's got to be the longest side, doesn't it? Because isn't this going to be the longest angle, biggest angle? So that's side C's got to be the longest or the biggest number every time. As long as it's the biggest number, you're good. All right, so now we've got to do something different. So I'm going to write down 2 goes on angle A, that's here. 7 goes on angle B, that's there. And this side is 7.3. Just use that same triangle up top. Y'all can just erase it every time you draw. All right, so I've got a number on every side this time. So that means I can use which formula? Any of them. Because you got all the numbers are already labeled on all the sides. So just pick one. Now your answers might be a little different, but they'll be close enough where it's not a big deal. I'm going to pick sine. All right, let's do sine. So I got sine of angle A equals. All right, now wait a minute. I've had a number every time right here in this spot. Why do I have a capital A on this one? Yeah, we don't have a number, so you just got to put capital A. All right, what goes on top and what goes on bottom?
Well, how did you put it?
Opposite.
Go ahead.
Just put a letter in there? Or a 1?
Right here?
2 over 7.3.
And the calculator.
Nothing yet. All right, y'all said it was what on top? 2 over 7.3. Is that what I heard? All right, so that's the only thing you've got to write down for me. Everything else we can do in the calculator. Now this one's clearly different. This is where you have to take sine and move it over. So what happens to it in your calculator? Sine -1. That's why we did the -1 stuff, because you're going to have to start doing it every day. So we're going to have to do sine -1. 2 on top, 7.3 on the bottom. What'd you get?
15.
All right, hold up. We got 15.9. Anytime you find an answer in the first column, those are angles. They always have to be in degrees and minutes. Okay? So change 15.9 into degrees and minutes.
15 degrees? Degrees and minutes, or just degrees?
Degrees and minutes.
Well, the other one's like 9.
Well, some of them don't have minutes. This one does. What'd y'all get? I got 15 degrees, 54 minutes.
We start putting minutes in.
Yep.
Not the second.
Yeah, I'm not going to mess with seconds. That's overkill. We'll just do degrees and minutes. 15 degrees, 54 minutes. Y'all do not have to write the seconds down.
And now we just do what we did in the first one.
And now you do it the same way you did the first one. So, Jacob, how am I gonna find this missing angle? Subtract from 180. Alright, so 180 minus 90 minus 15 degrees, 54 minutes. And whatever you get, Jacob, make it degrees and minutes also. What'd y'all get? Alright, make it degrees and minutes.
How do you do that?
74 degrees and 6 minutes.
Alright, y'all close up.
Lord have mercy.
We'll finish some more of that later.